virtual celebration. Welcome to Covenanting Sunday. We are all safe and cozy in our family rooms and kitchens, home offices and living rooms, and we are also together. We are safer and stronger when we are together, and we are so grateful to Reverend Bethany, the Respectful Relationship team, amazing tech team, and everyone who made such a graceful pivot to Zoom church so that we can be together this morning. We're having a real Buffalo winter, aren't we? My name is Eve Holberg, and I am your worship associate on this Covenanting Sunday. We have a very few announcements this morning, but first, want to acknowledge that Western New York is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, original nations of this land, who continue to fight for justice and self-determination. Our announcements. Next Sunday, February 1st, our winter congregational meeting begins at noon after the church service. If you are a voting member, please plan to attend and vote on our slate of candidates for the board and hear updates on our capital campaign work. If you're not a member, come and observe, learn more about how democracy works in our congregation. The annual cabaret fundraiser is less than a month away. Join the UUCB House Band on Friday, February 20th, and Saturday, February 21st, for an evening of creative musical arrangements accompanied by several courses of small plates, a cash bar, and more. Tickets are available on Zephy, linked in the e-blasts, and available after services on February 1st and February 8th in the parish hall. And now, let's greet one another. Turn on your cameras and scroll through to see everyone. Give a wave or a sign of greeting. Let's greet one another.
Good morning. I'm also going to encourage us to make a beautiful cacophony and also practice muting and unmuting. So unmute yourself and say a quick good morning and then mute yourself.
Good morning.
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 What a beautiful sound. Y'all sound great. We're going to make sure everybody else is muted and then we'll dive in. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. It is good to see you all. It's fun to see what your Zoom squares look like. I haven't grown familiar with them yet. I'm starting this Covenanting Sunday, which is important, but also bringing in the world around us because we are yet again in the midst of it. When the news yesterday came rolling in, I was in a gymnasium on the west side in a former school building now owned by Push with about maybe 150, 200 other Buffalonians who had gathered that day to imagine a better Buffalo and what it might tangibly take to make that Buffalo a reality. And when the news got relayed, we got really quiet and we cried. We took a deep collective breath and we held a long moment of silence. Will you join me here now in a time of prayer for Alex Preddy and his family, his community? May all who loved Alex be surrounded by love and care as they grieve and rage. May not one more death come from ICE, a lawless and reckless agency. May those who have the power to stop the recklessness find in themselves the moral courage to abolish ICE and limit the powers of all agents of state violence. And let us here now stay faithful to truth and recommit ourselves today and all days to supporting our neighbors above all. May we summon the moral courage to witness and to resist, to protest and to create community care. knowing that the forces which now occupy Minneapolis may one day, maybe one day soon, come here home to Buffalo. May we resist fear and act from that love which dwells at the core of our being. May all be safe from harm and hurt, and may peace prevail on earth one day soon. Blessed be, and amen. Back to the gymnasium. Yesterday, after we had our moment of silence, we got back to work. We got to work imagining what we could build together. We imagined a city free from ice, which will require in the short term both local and state commitment to not collaborate with ICE, and a long-term commitment to abolish the agency. And also, vital in this moment, us keeping our neighbors safe. We imagined stopping the city from opening a police shooting range in the Broadway Fillmore neighborhood and restoring that building to be a community center instead. We imagined a filled-in Humboldt Parkway, a sanctuary of trees restored, and giving responsibility for that area back to the city of Buffalo, restoring Olmsted's vision, and bringing better health, air quality, economic opportunity to our city. We imagined schools with reformed detention policies and infrastructure to support youth leadership in the city. We imagined a city where no one has to choose to turn off their heat in the depths of winter or pay another bill, where food insecurity is written into the city charter so no one goes hungry. We imagined cleaning up the trash dumps on the east side and getting more rights and protections for union workers. We imagined all this and more. We imagined all these things, and we actually put together hypothetical plans, some of them actual plans, to make them happen. Those who gathered in that gymnasium yesterday gathered because we believe that a better Buffalo is possible and that we all have to be part of the solution. And we gather this morning with similar convictions. We are a people who believe that a better world is possible and that we must be part of it. We share between us not a common creed, but a congregational covenant, a living document which guides us in how we will be with one another and how we will become the people we dream about beyond this community. This Sunday morning plan has been in the works for a while now. We had planned for a while to break into small groups and go all about the church to discuss in smaller communities, smaller circles, our congregational covenant. We imagined gathering all around the church in circles of chairs and letting us speak to and hear one another. When the reality of the incoming storm became more real, we pivoted here to Zoom to have the same discussion. Soon, after we've read our covenant and heard a story, you will be invited into breakout rooms to discuss our congregational covenant in small circles with some excellent and very flexible facilitators. I appreciate you all. And although this conversation maybe feels trivial or trite in the face of all that swirls around us, I believe, and I hope you do too, that it is deeply important. Our covenant is here within UUCB to help us practice here in our community, being the type of people our world desperately needs. If we can learn to treat one another better here, we can be more effective leaders in the building the world we dream about. It is both and, within and beyond. The posture of being good Unitarian Universalists within our walls is the same as being one beyond our walls. With that in mind, I'm going to have our Zoom host spotlight our respectful relationship team, who will introduce and read our covenant this morning. And when you get into your small groups this morning, your facilitators will be putting into the chat the circle order to tell you how to speak. And I'm going to now post in the chat the circle order for reading our covenant this morning, so you can get accustomed to what that might look like and feel like. And find the chat if you haven't already. Liz, when you're ready.
Sure. Welcome and thank you. On behalf of the Respectful Relations team, I just wanted to give a super short, you'll see our faces pop up here, Simon, Alex, Renee, Sharon, myself, and Steve Wixon, whose name is Steve. I just say the whole thing, apologies. But we've been working, some of us for many years, some of us for fewer years, to bring respectful relations to this church. We work out of restorative justice model and beginning with communication. We do not resolve conflict for you. Instead, what we do is create spaces where we can practice the skills and, again, create spaces to help you build and repair relationships with each other. So the covenant was the first task we asked of the church about 2 years ago to build this covenant. Some of you were part of creating it, and some may be reading it for the first time today. But throughout the month of January, each week, we began our service by reading the congregational covenant together. As Reverend Bethany said, we're going to invite you to discuss this covenant in small groups. And so on this platform, instead of asking you to read it with us, we're going to ask you to listen as the 6 of us read the covenant that we'll discuss later. So if everyone in Respectful Relations can unmute to read with me, and now the text of this covenant is on the screen. So I'll begin. We, the members and friends of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Buffalo, beginning with ourselves as we are, covenant together in love. 2. And I'm going to ask the team, hang on, I'm going to ask the team to follow the order in the chat as we're learning about our chat. So Simon, you're next reading, and we'll each read a line of the covenant. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We covenant together in love to celebrate and find joy in our diversity.
Honor our history and heritage while staying open to the future.
Be generous with our time and our treasure.
Strive for truth and justice within and beyond our congregation.
Relate to all who come here with kindness, respect, and compassion. Learn from one another and honor the sacred in all its expressions.
When we fail, we will acknowledge our shortcomings, make amends as we can, give and seek forgiveness, and move forward again in love and community.
We are going to have a hymn together now. And while I love hearing your voices, it really doesn't sound good when we all sing on Zoom together. So please make sure you are muted, but please do sing along to this hymn as John plays it on the screen.
mystery of the hour, gathered here mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Spirit, draw, 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 Spirit, draw. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in one strong body. Gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. Spirit, draw near.
And now our beloved Jess has a story for us this morning.
Hello, friends. I'm Jess, the Director of Religious Education, and today's story is The Rabbit Listened. And my Wi-Fi has been a bit jumpy, so I'm going to turn my video off to make sure that you all can hear me. And we're going to be looking at the story anyway, so that's okay. One day, Taylor decided to build something new, something special. Something amazing. Taylor was so proud. But then, out of nowhere, things came crashing down. The chicken was the first to notice. Cluck, cluck, what a shame. I'm so sorry this happened. Let's talk about it. Cluck, cluck. But Taylor didn't feel like talking, so the chicken left. Next came the bear. Ugh, oh, how horrible! I bet you feel so angry. Let's shout about it. But Taylor didn't feel like shouting, so the bear left. The elephant knew just what to do. Trump-ta-da, I can fix this. We just need to remember exactly the way things were. But Taylor didn't feel like remembering, so the elephant also left. One by one they came. The hyena, let's laugh about it. The ostrich, gulp, let's hide and pretend nothing happened. The kangaroo, tisk tisk, what a mess, let's throw it all away. And the snake, shh, let's go down and knock someone else's. But Taylor didn't feel like doing anything with anybody. So eventually they all left until Taylor was alone. In the quiet, Taylor didn't even notice the rabbit, but it moved closer and closer until Taylor could feel its warm body. Together they sat in silence until Taylor said, "Please stay with me." The rabbit listened. The rabbit listened as Taylor talked. The rabbit listened as Taylor shouted. The rabbit listened as Taylor remembered and laughed. The rabbit listened to Taylor's plans to hide, to throw everything away, to ruin things for someone else. Through it all, the rabbit never left. And when the time was right, the rabbit listened to Taylor's plan to build again. I can't wait, Taylor said. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you, Jess. So now is the time. Carry that message with us about listening and seeing how we might listen better to each other, how we might stretch ourselves into your circles now. So in a minute, I'm going to open our breakout rooms. And what you'll need to do is accept the invitation to join the breakout room. Every one of our rooms has at least one facilitator. And facilitators, I'll tell you that we have a certain number of people online, so some of them have two. So you can figure out how to work together if there are two of you in the space. We have prepared some agreements for these circles. These are agreements about how we are going to hold space together, how we are going to treat each other just in the confines of this circle. And I'm going to post those in the chat right now. And would anybody be willing to unmute themselves and read them from the chat for me? Go ahead and unmute.
Oops.
And I'll see you. Sharon, thank you.
Let's see.
Oh,
Okay. I have to, okay. Sorry, going down. Okay.
right there in the chat if you see them.
Okay. Yep. Got it now. Okay. One person speaks at a time. Whoever has the talking piece is the person who speaks. In the case of being online, we will determine our circle order before we begin and stick to that. We speak from personal experience. Use I statements. Avoid generalizing. Listen when others are sharing. Be as present as possible. We all have wisdom to share. Speak your truth in ways that respect other people's truths. No blaming or shaming, including yourself. No fixing, no saving, no advising, and no correcting each other.
Thank you, Sharon. I'm going to mute you. So those are our agreements. They'll be in the chat and they'll follow you to the breakout rooms if you need to say, what was that particular thing? And even though we read the covenant out loud, we know you've not memorized it yet, not all of you at least. So I'm going to post that in the chat right now. Again, this is going to follow you. There was also a link in your email this morning. If you printed it out and have it in front of you, great. If not, it's going to be right there and your facilitator might be able to point you towards it. And we have two pairs of questions, two groups of questions that we will be discussing together. I'm also going to post those in the chat right now, so you have them when you get to your group. We are going to go, facilitators, yes, until 10:30. So I'll set these rooms for 30 minutes. You all should be getting an invitation to join them very soon. And I will give you a 2-minute warning. You'll see a 2-minute warning pop up on the top when we are about ready to close. So the room should be open. If you've just joined us, give me a second. I will get you into a room once I've opened them. You should be able to join the room now.
And Bethany, if you could give me co-host access once